Welcome to this short segment on the latest corporate social investing trends. But before I tell you more about the insights of our latest study, I would like to recap some developments we observed over the years. As you just heard, Repsol Foundation recently launched a new impact fund. But also IKEA set up IKEA Social Entrepreneurship next to IKEA Foundation. And Danone launched the Water Access Fund next to Danone Ecosystem and Danone Communities. And we also heard from more and more practitioners that they were considering setting up new impact vehicles themselves. So we were wondering, why would a company and a corporate social investors set up multiple impact vehicles? And are the motives the same for everyone? And how does it relate to their social impact? The answer was we didn't know. And therefore, we conducted numerous interviews with companies and corporate social investors that had already set up multiple impact structures to understand more about this new trend. What we noticed is that there were several practical opportunities. For instance, by setting up a foundation next to an impact fund, they were able to tap into different financial instruments like grants, debt, or equity. It was also an opportunity for some to serve and support a new kind of social purpose organization, like social entrepreneurs with a revenue-generating business model. A third reason was also to pursue new impact or new alignment strategies. For instance, setting up an impact fund was an opportunity for them to pursue more business alignment. But what we also noticed is that these organizations are starting to find ways to work together towards a common impact vision. They're starting to think about what is a unique opportunity and value that each one of us can contribute towards the vision, and how can we use and leverage our unique strength to design more holistic impact approaches. Why? Because they recognize that in order to achieve their long-term vision, they need different actors to work together. They need non-profit organizations as well as for-profit organizations. They need commercial scaling capital as much as they need grant-making capital. And they need to build capacities and infrastructure as much as they need to foster innovation and create new business models. Thus, they look for opportunities to work together towards a common impact vision. How they do so? By establishing a collective corporate impact strategy. Through our research, we were able to unravel 3 different collective corporate impact strategies that companies with multiple corporate social investors can pursue. The so-called scope, scale, and depth strategy. Now let's take a look at what each of these strategies is about. Well, in some cases, the company and the CSIs want to broaden their impact on society because they know that there's not only one path or one approach towards achieving their vision. And looking left and right, they see that there are different societal challenges and opportunities related to their vision where they could really make a difference for society. So they set up multiple vehicles that each focus on a new challenge and a new beneficiary groups, and thereby helps to add to the diversity of their approach and to broaden the impact on different challenges, different beneficiary groups, and to broaden the impact on society at large. Now let's take a look at an example. Danone and its impact funds all support the vision that business can be a force for good. The company pursues this vision, for instance, by attaining the B Corp certification. Danone Ecosystem looks at the vision more from the perspective of vulnerable people around Danone's communities, around Danone's value chain, and therefore supports to develop or co-develop inclusive business solutions with local subsidiaries specifically for these beneficiary groups. And Danone Communities looks at the vision from yet another angle and really supports social businesses in low-income countries. So having multiple vehicles working in different contexts therefore allows them to have a broader impact on society. And in a way, the strategy is similar to rock climbing. While every climber has the same goal to reach the top, each climber designs their unique route based on their personal technique and style. And the same we can see here in the scope strategy. While all vehicles work towards the same vision, they all pursue slightly different approaches, which gives them the opportunity to broaden their impact. And doing so allows them also to pioneer innovations and solutions in various areas. For instance, around challenges that are closer related to the company and others that are not. And this is not only important to advance societal progress, But it can also be of value to the company, as it can give them inspiration and input on new inclusive and sustainable business practices in those various areas. Second, the company that has multiple corporate social investors addressing different challenges also sends a strong message that the company is truly committed to their vision and that each societal cause is a priority for them. If you think about your vision, what kind of vehicles could you maybe set up that would help you to broaden your impact on society? What other challenges and beneficiary groups would you maybe like to address? Different corporate social investors and companies can also complement each other to scale a particular social solution, because scaling solutions requires different actors along the continuum of capital to work together. And through grants, foundations are, for instance, ideally positioned to provide patient capital in the early stages. Yet, as the investees grow and enter pre-commercial stage, other impact structures like impact funds might be better positioned to provide them with a continuous funding. And once a proof of concept exists, then companies have the unique opportunity to go the last mile and help these organizations and solutions scale, for instance, through their value chain. So as in a relay race, the CSIs and the company, they will work in different stages to offer tailored financial and non-financial support throughout different development stages of the investee. An example here is the Rabobank, the Rabo Foundation, and the Rabo Roll Fund, because all of them work collectively towards supporting pharma cooperatives, yet all at different maturity stages. The Rabo Foundation supports early-stage pharma cooperatives in developing countries, and once these cooperatives become too mature for the foundation, the Rabo Roll Fund can provide them with the next step in financing before they can become eligible for normal financial loans from banks. So the strength of this strategy lies in building and enabling environments for social innovations or social purpose organizations to grow and scale. Multiple corporate social investors and the company can do so by offering the different financial instruments at different development stages. And at the same time, the strategy is also valuable to companies. By having corporate social investors help develop innovations and solutions up to a proof of concept, the company might more easily be able to recognize also the business relevance of such impact-driven solutions. So if you think about your vision again, do all promising solutions have such an enabling environment to grow and to reach the scaling phase? Or do you think that a new vehicle could be needed to help them scale their impact even further? The goal of the third strategy, the depth strategy, is to work together to deepen the impact on a particular communities. So here the organizations recognize that working alone may have only allowed them to scratch the surface, but working together and supporting the same communities gives them a unique opportunity to dive deeper and to each address different challenges the communities face. And by developing complementary solutions to the final beneficiaries, such as providing access to capacity, providing access to capital, and while also providing access to technologies, can help them to provide more holistic support to these communities. For example, the ING Bank, the ING Foundation, and the Debt Assistance Route all work towards fostering financial health in the Netherlands. And while the ING Bank can support its clients and send early warning signals to people at risk, the ING Foundation can really work in the social domain and can support funding by funding impact-driven solutions and social purpose organizations. At the same time, they also have the National Debt Assistance Route, which they set up as a cross-sector alliance between ING, other Dutch banks, municipalities, and other key stakeholders to offer an additional sector-wide support for people with problematic debt to maneuver out of the situation. So working together allows these organizations to provide more holistic support to people facing financial difficulties in the Netherlands. And addressing different root challenges and providing complementary solutions to the same communities allows these organizations to pave the way for more systemic change. As all vehicles here work towards accelerating the development of a particular geographical area, this strategy can also be interesting for a company as it can provide market insights, but also help to build pre-commercial markets, albeit in the long term. So if you think about your vision again, Can you think of pressing challenges that people within a particular area still face? And could a new vehicle help you to catalyze more sustainable and long-term change for them? To summarize, we find that multiple corporate social investors and their related company can work together to broaden the impact on society, to scale the impact of a social solution, or to provide deeper impact on particular communities. And while these strategies are still a novelty, they have huge potential to allow corporate social investors and companies to move towards more holistic impact approaches that really foster the collaboration between different types of actors, different types of capital, and different impact strategies. And it allows them to build on and really leverage each other's strength towards more impact. So, what do you think? What would be your new era of collaboration? And does it entail one of these 3 collective corporate impact strategies? If the answer is yes, or if you're simply interested to engage in further conversation about these strategies, I invite you to join our upcoming deep dive sessions. We will have 3 sessions on each collective impact strategy with great speakers from each case study that I just mentioned, and a 4th session on how to set up new corporate social investors. So if you're interested to read more about the research, you can also download our new leaflet on collective corporate impact strategies now, either on the EVPA website or by clicking on the link that you can find in the chat function now. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to starting the discussion around collective corporate impact strategies with you. Thank you.